Well, this week, Rio Tinto green-lighted its long-awaited and technically difficult $20 billion investment in the Simandou iron ore deposit, not here in Australia, but in Guinea, in Africa. So what does that say about Australia's competitiveness, our attractiveness to global miners?
Here on the map, today we are talking about this project, Simandou project, one of the biggest and largest iron ore deposit in the whole world. Yes, you heard me right. Today we're going to talk about this project because a lot of Guinean leaders, they have been talking about this project. Can we say that Simandou can really develop Guinea? Because we have been seeing a lot of people, a lot of Guinean leaders talking about this project. For them, Simandou will develop Guinea. Simandou, it is a tool, but development, it is a vision. You need to combine tools and vision to bring light into Guinea. It is not possible. Simandou by itself, it cannot develop Guinea. Simandou cannot develop Guinea. It is just like a tool. So you need to combine together. Before understanding this project, let's just ask about what those development mean before talking about this project. We cannot just say that Simandou will develop Guinea without understanding the meaning of development. Let's just ask development. In your imagination, everything can be possible. Just as waking up in the morning, bombing Moscow without any retaliation from Putin. Also dropping an atomic bomb on an American city without any response from Donald Trump. It is not possible. In a dream, in imagination, anything is possible. But in reality, it's not like this. It is totally different. Let's just ask what those development mean. After that, we come back to just if really Simandou will develop Guinea. Are you ready? First of all, development. It is not just a matter of roads, a matter of railways, a matter of hospitals. Development, it is far beyond all those things. It is not just the simple accumulation of wealth or infrastructure. It is totally different. First of all, development, it is about human, yes. It is about you. It is about me. We cannot just talk about development without any population. Without population, it's not possible. It is me that it is the ability of any population to live better, to eat better, to learn better, to heal better. Yeah, it's very important to understand that. Without that, you cannot develop your country without your people, your population. You can have 10 of 1,000 buildings, 10 of 1,000 highways, railways, but if your people are still dying because of malnutrition, because of hunger, your country is not developing. We cannot talk about development without asking your people. It is very important. It is the first part of any single development. You need first of all to see your people. Are they eating very well? Are they eating 3-4 times a day? You need to ask yourself. Because in Africa, a lot of countries, sometimes the population, they cannot eat 2, 3, 4 times a day. Before talking about development, you need to understand the meaning of that. You cannot develop your country without your population. It's not possible, no way. Your population will eat better. Your population will learn better. Your population will heal better before talking about development. If you see Simandou, will this project bring food in Guinea? This project, will it bring Food security in Guinea, we don't know. But first of all, you need to understand the meaning of development. It is the first part of development. After that, the second part of development. Development, it is about institutional, your institution. It is very important to understand your country, your state must collect taxes. Yes, must collect taxes, redistribute the wealth, plan long time. It is very important to understand that. Protect the weak, promote justice, guarantee justice. It's very important. Can we say that this project will bring justice, will protect the weak? Because it's very important to understand. You cannot say that Simandou will develop Guinea without understanding the meaning of development. Any country that it's not possible to protect its own people, to promote justice, it's not a development country. Your country is not developing. You need to understand that. You need to promote justice, because you can have 10,000 houses, 10,000 bridges, 10,000 buildings. You can have $10 billion, but if there is no justice, all those money could vanish into corruption. Yes. You know, in Africa, we all know that corruption, it is everywhere in Africa. So before talking about Simandou, you need first of all to see your justice. Can the state promote justice? Can the state collect taxes and redistribute the wealth, protect the weak? Is it possible? Because you need to understand that without all those things, we cannot talk about development in Africa. Today, Africa is suffering because of all those matters. In Africa, corruption is killing our institutions. Yeah, if you go to Africa, you will see it. Corruption, it is everywhere, I can understand. But we need to promote justice. We need to protect our people. Can we say that this project will protect Guineans? Can we say that this project will bring justice in Guinea? I don't know. Because you need to understand, it is the first part of these videos. If you don't understand that, you cannot develop your country. The third part of this project is what? Development. It is sustainable. Yeah. Sustainable, it is very important. It is the third part of these videos. You cannot develop your country without sustainability. It's not possible. What does it mean? If any country is displacing its own people for mining project, displacing its own people for mining project, polluting environment, polluting rivers just for mining project, what are we going to say for the next generations? That is also important, because you cannot develop your country with destroying your forest. It's not possible. You need to protect your forest. You need to protect your rivers. You need to protect all your natural resources. It is very important to understand. Without that, we cannot talk about development. That is the second part of this video. If you go to everywhere in the whole world, you will see people, all development countries we are saying, you will see the population, they are living better, they have justice, they are protecting their own forest. It is very important to understand that. But any country which is displacing its own people for mining project without any compensation, it's not possible. We cannot talk about development. You need to understand that. The fourth part of any development It is transformation, transforming your raw materials, your natural resources into finished products. It is very important to understand that if any country is just exporting raw materials without transforming its own material into finished product, your country is not developing. It is not developing. Your country is not developing. You need to understand that. You need to transform all your raw materials into finished product before talking about development. We cannot talk about development without any industrialization. You need to industrialize your country. You need to bring jobs into your country. You need to understand that without all those things, we cannot talk about development. A country which is just like importing finished product, exporting its own raw material, your country is not developing. You need to understand that. You need to transform all your raw material in your country, creating job. But this project, it is just a mining project, just taking the natural resources and going with that. Yes, it is like this. They are not transforming the raw materials into a finished product in Guinea. Not possible. Just like exporting raw materials. It cannot develop any country in the world. Development is not just a snapshot of buildings, railways. It's not like this. It is not the simple accumulation of wealth. It's not like this, or infrastructure. It goes beyond all those things. It touched every single dimension collective life. It is very important to understand that. After understanding the meaning of development, let me come back to see the project of Simandou. Djiba Diakité. Last time, one of Guinea's minister, the minister and chief of staff of Guinea presidency, who said that the contractual document of Simandou, if we put end to end, it could stretch about 14 kilometers. Putting all the document end to end, it could stretch 14 kilometers. Yes. Also, let's ask about Guinea's share about this project. We need to understand Guinea's share in this project. First of all, Guinea will just benefit in three main ways. First of all, Guinea will benefit from its around 15%, only 15%. Also, equity in the both mining company and the railway. Yeah, Guinea will benefit about all those things. But Guinea holds only 15%. Yes, you heard me right, 50%. But Guinea will also benefit from its taxes and royalties. Royalties in Guinea. This project, according to IMF, the project of Simandou could bring 3% in national GDP revenue for the next 20 years. Yes, 20 every year. This project will bring 3% of the national GDP. It's very important to understand that. Guinea will just benefit in three main ways, like I said, with its own 50%, taxes and royalties, also ownership of infrastructures after building the railway, yes, after the building also the deep ports, the deep water ports, because this project, it will bring a lot of jobs in Guinea. Now they are building deep water ports in Guinea. So after the project, Guinea will benefit from all those things. Can we say that Guinea will be developed by this project? Can we just say that this project will really develop Guinea? Like I said, it is not possible. We cannot talk about development without a vision. Simandou, it is a tools. Development, it is a vision. You need to combine it together. It will depend the way Guineans will use the project. Like I said, a tool. Guineans will use the project to bring it into light. Without that, we cannot talk about development. Yes, Simandou, it is massive. It is one of the largest and biggest iron ore deposit in the whole world. Yes, with exceptional high qualities. Yes, the project will bring permanent job in Guinea. They have already started. After the construction, a lot of workers, they will leave. Many workers, they will leave there after the project, yes. But it will maintain permanent job there. It is possible. Yes, Simandou brings infrastructures, building railways, more than 600 kilometers. Yeah, they have been building the railway from Simandou region to Conakry, Moribaya. It is about 600 kilometers railway. They have already finished building the railway. Yes, Simandou will bring something in Guinea. Simandou can change Guineans' lives. Simandou can bring light. It is possible, but it will depend how are you going to manage the project. It is very important to understand that. You cannot just say that Simandou will develop Guinea without asking yourself what those development means. If you don't know the meaning of development, you will not understand. In Africa, all our mining projects look like costs for all Africa. Yeah, because if you go to Congo, if you go to a lot of countries in Africa where there is a mining company, there is also civil war in the region. So, before talking about Simandou, like just I said, understand the meaning of development before going back to judge if Simandou will develop Guinea or not. For my personal view, Simandou cannot develop Guinea, but Simandou will create permanent job. Simandou will increase the national GDP. It is possible. Talking about development, it is other things here because it is a vision. Combine it together, maybe Simandou can do something, but not development, not developing Guinea. It is not possible. At all, it is not possible. You need to bring justice. Simandou cannot develop Guinea, not necessary. Theoretically, it is possible. Yes, it is possible. Theoretically, but in reality, it is not the same. It is not possible. Because the state will collect taxes, use the taxes and build hospitals, invest in agriculture, invest in school, a lot of things before talking about development. If there is no justice, if there is no transparency in the country, we cannot talk about development. It will depend how Guineans will use Simandou. That is my view. Okay, I want just to see about you also, what are you thinking about this project? Because I will be so happy to see your comment. Because I'm also excited to read your comment. See you later. Thank you very much.